You ever see this guy with the pillows on Fox? My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell. He is the greatest. The My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell. And he's been with us right from the beginning.
Good Friday afternoon, America. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. I'm Vanessa Broussard. Thanks for joining us today on the Mike Lindell Show. We have continuing coverage today of the Autopen investigation. President Trump making a major announcement that the pardons that Joe Biden gave to the Unselect Committee are declared void, vacant, and no further force or effect. Here's what the president posted on Truth Social. He says this because of the fact the pardons were done by Autopen. In other words, Joe Biden did not know anything about them. The necessary pardoning documents were not explained to or approved by Biden. He knew nothing about them, and the people that did may have committed a crime. Therefore, those on the Unselect Committee who destroyed all evidence obtained during their 2-year witch hunt of me and many other innocent people should fully understand that they are subject to investigation at the highest level. The fact is, they were probably responsible for the documents that were signed on their behalf without the knowledge or consent of the worst president in the history of our country, crooked Joe Biden. We continue our coverage with Kara Castronova live in Washington, D.C. Kara, this story broke by Emerald Robinson last year, and then you brought it back to the forefront at a press briefing just days ago. Take us back to that day.
Well, yeah, about this time last week, I had asked the press secretary about the Autopen. It's something that I was aware of because of Emerald and her great reporting on that. And she had said she would get back to us. And I believe that, since then it's really taken off, this story with Autopen, and captured the imagination of a lot of people. And I don't think it's a stretch to say that a lot of people are very suspicious that it wasn't Joe Biden actually signing those Autopen documents. Obviously, it's now undisputed that he was in serious mental decline. Sorry about that.
All right.
There's a little technical difficulty. I'm so sorry. But yes, so today at the press conference, the press briefing with Caroline. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry.
We're going to that's okay. We're going to try to work out that with Kara. In the meantime, as she was just mentioning, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt spoke about the Autopen today in the press briefing room. Let's take a listen.
The president was begging the question that I think a lot of journalists in this room should be asking about whether or not the former president of the United States, who I think we can all finally agree was cognitively impaired. I know it took people some time to finally admit that, but we all know that to be true, as evidenced by his disastrous debate performance against President Trump during the campaign. I digress on that. But the president was raising the point that, did the president even know about these pardons? Was his illegal signature used without his consent or knowledge? And that's not just the president or me raising those questions, Caitlin. According to the New York Post, there are Biden officials from the previous White House who raised those questions and wondered if the president was even consulted about his legally binding signature being signed onto documents. And so I think it's a question that everybody in this room should be looking into, because certainly that would propose perhaps criminal or illegal behavior if staff members were signing the President of the United States autograph without his consent.
Biden is on the record talking about issuing preemptive pardons to these people.
But was he aware of his signature being used on every single pardon? That's a question you should ask the Biden White House.
Is there any evidence on that he wasn't aware of it?
You're a reporter. You should find out.
All right, and we have Kara back now with us to talk about this. Kara, I see this as forgery. That's exactly what it is. If the president at the time, Joe Biden, did not know that this was being signed, these pardons, and whether it's a person signing them or an auto pen, that's a form of forgery, and it should be investigated.
Of course it is, and it is journalist's job, and it seems to be forgotten by the press that they're supposed to obviously check and balance the government. If indeed Joe Biden wasn't signing those documents or wasn't aware, obviously that's forgery, and this is something that, obviously has been reported on extensively by Emerald and the Gateway Pundit as well, questioning these things. So I myself would like to start filing Freedom of Information Acts. I'm really trying to get to the bottom of this. Like Carolyn Levitt said today, you're a journalist, like the journalist in this room, I was right there to watch her say it, should be very interested in knowing if there was an incident where a president wasn't actually aware of the orders that he was signing. This should be something that would be considered newsworthy to the mainstream media, but for some reason, they're all parroting the same story that, it's not, Trump is saying this without any proof, and, he's making all of these claims, which I'm certain he isn't. I'm certain that over the past week, he's done some investigations and spoken to people on his team, and there's probably some merit to his suspicion that it wasn't actually Joe Biden responsible for signing any of those pardons. A lot of them were ludicrous, and a lot of the really radical orders that he signed over the past 4 years.
And Kara, I think that's a great idea to file a Freedom of Information request, because that will give us more answers. And the list of people who may have known about this, if true, could be long. So they're sweating today.
Certainly. And Benny Thompson came out actually acting like he's not worried. Oh, what Trump is saying is ridiculous. I mean, I think that there's a lot of people very afraid right now if indeed this is true. And that includes people on the quote unquote select committee, including Liz Cheney, including Benny Thompson, including the likes of Dr. Fauci. These people should be very afraid and very worried, because we have 4 years now to, I would take it upon myself to investigate this. I feel a lot of those pardons were very unfortunate, because I do believe with substantiated evidence that there were a lot of crimes committed, especially pertaining to the destroying of documents by the January 6th quote unquote select committee. So, I will be investigating that further, and I will definitely report back to you on any information that I get. But this is something that I'm very interested in really going deeper on.
Absolutely, and we should as journalists, because this cannot happen at any level. People get arrested and thrown in jail for forging a check at a local supermarket. This is the President of the United States we're talking about. And while this is a very serious issue, Kara, of course, President Trump also making a post mocking Biden. He did make a joke about it, a picture of him 45, 46, and 47, and 46 instead of Biden's picture. It's a framed photo of an Autopen. And so,
oh my God.
Yeah, so it's some humor there, but at the same time, a very serious issue.
It is. It has a lot of implications, and I think that it's something that's unprecedented. Maybe you should go to the Supreme Court, but I do think that people need to be deposed or subpoenaed, maybe in front of Congress, maybe a bipartisan investigation. Obviously the New York Post came out with that blockbuster article where people in the Biden administration are even speaking off the record, saying they have no idea if these things were authorized by Biden, saying that there was a staffer that literally people were terrified of. They were so afraid of this person, and they were very much aware that this person was possibly the one behind all of these quote unquote signatures of the president.
And there's that photo right there that we were just talking about, 45, 47, and in between a framed photo of an Autopen instead of Joe Biden. President Trump posting that on Truth Social. We'll continue to follow this on Lindell TV. Kara, great job. Thank you for your report. And we know there's going to be more news on this Autopen moving forward.
Thank you so much, Vanessa.
Happening right now, President Trump is touring the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. President Trump is making changes to the leadership for the arts institution and is presiding over today's board meeting. He told reporters, quote, "We have to straighten it out," referring to leadership. Take a listen.
Thank you very much. We're here to have our first board meeting at Kennedy Center, and it's in tremendous disrepair, as is a lot of the rest of our country, most of it because of bad management. This is a shame what I've watched and witnessed. They spent a fortune, $250 million, and they built these rooms that nobody's going to use, rooms underground. And I've often wondered, what are the big cubes that they have outside that block the view? They're cubes with a door in them so that people can get down to rooms that nobody's going to use. And it's a shame. It's a shame. The other thing is we're going to have a little problem with some people that work here. We had Lee Greenwood sing a little song today. And because of the cost and the union structure, for him to sing a song just for the board, just a board meeting, it was going to cost $30,000. That doesn't sound too good. They wanted $30,000 to move a piano. So you can't have that. So we're gonna fix it up. But it's really emblematic of our country. But the Kennedy Center, you look at the columns outside, you look at, I mean, they're supposed to be covered by something, whether it's marble or whatever, granite. They were never covered. They were painted. But bringing it to more modern times, a lot of money's been given to it, and the money has not been properly spent. They built rooms underground with no windows, no nothing, that will not be used ever. You're not going to have people use them. It's such a waste of money, such a terrible waste, but we'll bring it back, we'll make it great again. But it is so much like what I'm witnessing in other places. We have open borders. We have men playing in women's sports. It's all the same thing. It's all the same mentality and thinking. So I'm very disappointed when I look around. The bottom line, it has tremendous potential, and we'll work with Congress. As you know, it's a very public facility, and we'll do what has to be done. We'll be having a meeting with the Speaker in the not-too-distant future. I think it's important to save this structure in this building.
The president has installed new leadership in the last month. The Kennedy Center has said ticket sales for concerts have been down since before changes were made. Over the weekend, more social media influencers found themselves the victims of swatting. We first brought you this story on Friday here on the Mike Lindell Show. Swatting is a prank call to police or to 911 in an attempt to bring armed law enforcement officers to your house. It could turn deadly, and that's the goal of the prank caller. We bring in social media influencer Chad Caton, who was swatted last night. Chad, thanks so much for joining us today. I know it's been a whirlwind for you. First off, we're glad you're safe along with your family. Tell us what happened.
Thank you, Vanessa. It's been a crazy weekend. A lot of my friends were swatted prior to this, and when that happened, I was following it. I was calling them and saying, "Man, are you okay?" Because having been a former firefighter myself, I understand the protocol of a SWAT or this type of call. And we went throughout the weekend, and every day there was another one hit, that are all of my friends, people that I've been to rallies with for President Trump, when I was with Veterans for Trump. And I was trying to figure it out, right? And be there for my friends. But I had a conversation with my wife, and I said, you know, I don't know if we're going to get swatted, but if we do, this is what we need to do. We need to take our dog. We need to put him in the closet. We need to make sure that we are keeping our hands where we need to be. We talked it out, and it was kind of been flippant. She kind of yelled at me. It was like, "Don't put this on me," and it's not going to happen. Well, fast forward to last night at 3 a.m., fast asleep, my wife and myself and my dog, Diesel, and the front door sounded like somebody was driving a car and battering my house. I mean, they were kicking the door or punching the door. I don't know. But there's a big difference between a knock and somebody beating on the door. And of course, we jumped out of bed. I am a Second Amendment guy. I believe in protecting my house. I have a weapon, my sidearm, right next to the bed. I reach for it immediately. I start to stand up, and all of a sudden, all of my windows filled with light, and it was just moving all over the place. We have blinds, so it was just like lighting up my house. Right then, I said, "We're being swatted," and I just kept saying, "We're being swatted. We're being swatted." My wife jumped into action and grabbed our dog, who was scared out of his mind, and grabbed him, who is a 71-pound pit bull, and put him in the bathroom. And I started to walk out to my living room, this living room I'm standing in right now, and you can see the green curtains behind me. That is a glass, sliding glass door. Those curtains weren't closed at the time. And as soon as I turned into this living room, there was red dots on me. The lights were shining through that window. I could barely see. And I heard people screaming, yelling at me, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. But I knew I was being swatted. And right there, it's important because if I would have carried my sidearm, not knowing it was the police with me, right there is probably where I would have been shot and killed. Because they called it in as I was the one that called it in for my own home and said that I was hiding. There are armed assailants in my house trying to burglarize or worse. And so they thought I was hiding. And if they see somebody walking around with a gun, then they would naturally think that that's the assailant. Is what's so scary. I heard them say from the back door, "Go to the front door" with my hands up, and I went to the front door, and again, every window in this house was filled with light. It was, and it was moving all over the place. It's the scariest thing ever. And when I opened the door slowly, I put my hands out the door. Again, it's just light. I heard an officer say, "Open the door," and I'm in my boxers. Like, I mean, it's degrading as it is, right? I'm standing out here in my proverbial underwear, walking out of my house with guns drawn at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I start walking outside and I see three M4s, ARs pointed at me with flashlights. And they're telling me, "Come here, come here, come here. Come closer, come closer, come closer. Keep your hands up." And it was bedlam. And when I got there, they put me against my garage door and they handcuffed me. At this point, I could see back towards the house, and my wife was not there. She had a little problem because my dog Diesel was scared to death, and she was trying to catch him. And she finally worked her way out. Probably the scariest thing for me, being somebody that's trained in weapons, is I'm looking at the police officer that was using my garage to stable his AR, and I could see his flashlight off of the muzzle of his weapon, and he was shaking like a leaf. And the reason that's important is that everybody knows at a range, if somebody's scared of a gun or they're in a high tense area, you don't want, it could be somebody slipping on a rock. My wife could have tripped, made a noise, and who knows? Had so much anxiety about this situation that he could start pulling the trigger. And knowing that, I was talking literally in the back of this officer's ear, watching his muzzle shake as it's being pointed towards my wife. Thinking I might be watching my wife get shot in the face by a cop that is just doing his job. Why? Because I support Donald Trump. All of this is happening because of that. And my wife was rock solid, walked out, put her hands out, said, "Please don't shoot my dog. Please don't shoot my dog." They got her to me, and then they were saying, "Who else is in the house?" I said, "Nobody, just our dog." I said, "Elizabeth, where's the dog?" And then she said, "He's locked in our master bathroom." And then as they started to line up, like you see on TV, with their hand on his shoulder and ARs, helmet, or the whole 9 yards, went through my front door and started clearing my house as we're yelling, "Don't shoot our dog. And I told them, "It's right there to the right in the master bathroom. Don't shoot our dog." And they cleared our house, and then they all came out and realized that this was a swatting situation, some of which I actually served with because I was a firefighter in this community. They let me get Diesel, and we sat out in the yard. Of course, I went and put some clothes on. My wife, covered up, and then the next thing I know, there are Diesels running around getting everybody the tennis ball. It was so surreal and weird.
Yes.
It's unfortunate.
And Chad, I'm so sorry you have to go through this, you along with so many. And you mentioned the social media influencers who are your friends, you've been to rallies with. I'm in the same boat as you. Some of my friends have been swatted, and this is the first time that I've been able to meet you. It's very unfortunate under the circumstances, but I am glad I now have a connection with you, like my other social media friends. But one thing, I think there's several things in your story that I think are important, but I want to hit on the last thing about the dog, because I have been on many crime scenes where if dogs start barking at an officer, the first thing they do is shoot the dog because they have to protect themselves. They don't know if the dog's going to attack. So I want to bring that up front to anyone who may unfortunately be a victim of swatting or any case scenario. You were very smart in planning with your wife to take care of the dog, because if that dog charged after them, which a lot of dogs do. When they're protecting their owners or their home, where they hear a bark at the a knock, that is, at the door, or the doorbell ring, they charge. And so an officer's first response is to shoot to protect themselves. So that's the first thing that I think is very important, and I'm glad you mentioned that. The second thing that is so very important is how concerningly scary this is, because the goal was for you to take your firearm to the door to protect yourself, your wife, your family, your home, and for them to shoot back at you. That's the goal of the swatter. And in this case, it was very close, a very close scenario that you didn't do that. You knew immediately when you saw those lights coming through your bedroom window, you were being swatted. And so what is your advice? Like, what do you do in this situation? You said, you've been in a first responder before. What do you do in this situation? Because there's so many Second Amendment lovers out there who are gun owners. I'm in Texas. That's where I'm from. We love our guns in Texas. We protect ourselves in Texas. What do you do in this situation? Because the first thing you do when you hear the doorbell ring at 3 o'clock in the morning is grab your firearm. And that's what the swatters want you to do.
The best thing I can say is circumstances, paying attention to what's going on in the world, and having, some of my friends be swatted, and so much of it, I think I'm number 14 or 15 that's been swatted in the last 6 days. I think what I wish I could tell you all what you can do, because I don't know. If I was the first person to be swatted, I would probably be dead in my house right now. Because when somebody's hitting my door like that, that's not the doorbell. That's not somebody that, hey, can, my car broke down. Can you help me? And I don't have a phone. Well, I mean, I don't even know. But what it was pounding on the door, constant. The alarm was going off. I have an electronic door. The alarm's going off. They're pounding. The lights are everywhere. And I also, as a first responder, I know that, okay, well, if people are going to burglarize me or want to come and kill me, more than likely they're not going to be putting lights in all of my windows. So, but when you wake up out of a dead sleep, everything is just, it was just, I can't say it's because of training. I can't say any of that because it's not true. I got very lucky. And I got very lucky because of consequences and understanding, and my brain was able to work fast enough to realize what was happening around me, and that we had that silly conversation that my wife and I did based on me just being overtly protective of my family. And if this does happen, I need you to do this. And it was circumstances that put us in the right position. But I don't want your viewers to think that I have the end all be all on this, because it seems like swatting is going to be a weapon of the left or whoever's doing this. And you just have to be vigilant, and you have to be able to assess the situation. And I did that, and we came out okay. Although I'm so angry right now, I can barely stand here and talk to you, but I'm going to do as much media as I can, because I think the country needs to talk about this new weapon that anybody's using in the guise of swatting, and how very dangerous it is. And most importantly, as a first responder, I hate the fact that I could have pulled my weapon and unloaded a magazine into my front door and killed police officers. That scares me.
Yeah, it's
because
scary
those are my
for them
brothers
as
and
well.
sisters.
Absolutely.
It's not
And
right.
no, it's not right. It's a difficult situation for everyone involved. It's it's fatality waiting to happen. You had said in a post that this is domestic terrorism. FBI Director Kash Patel last week, when the first social media influencer started getting swatted, came out and said that he would be investigating this. Have you heard from the FBI today?
I have not in an official capacity. I do have a lot of friends in being in politics and doing what we do at the Conservative Caucus, who I am the national. And that's the other thing. Just 4 weeks ago, I took the position as the national field director for the Conservative Caucus, the oldest caucus in the United States. So we're not sure if that's the catalyst, just because now I've moved up into this national role in building organization. I don't know, but I wish I knew. I wish I could answer that. I don't. As far as the FBI, I think they come a couple days later, And all I can say is I'm ready to go to Capitol Hill with a couple of my buddies, and we would love to get before judiciary and talk about what law we need to do to make this so that this doesn't happen to anybody. A felony, or how big of a felony? We're ready to go to Capitol Hill because I think we need to be heard, and before somebody gets hurt. And the best thing that can happen is a hearing with a bunch of guys that are used to going out on social media and getting people's attention, because everybody in the world needs to know that this is a weapon that's being used, because if it's not me today, it could be you tomorrow.
Absolutely. I also want to touch on this too, Chad, while we're here. I don't think it's happened to you. I've seen it happen to other social media influencers over the weekend. It's not just swatting. The next thing that happens is they're getting pizza delivered to their door. Have you seen that? It's just weird stuff. And so they're encouraging people, if this happens to you, this isn't your neighbor or friend or a secret admirer sending you pizza and you enjoying the evening, send it back and call the police, because that's the new trend that I'm seeing since the weekend, is that some of these social media influencers are getting random pizzas delivered to their door.
Yeah, that's actually their calling card. So whoever's doing this, they're able to let the world know that they're doing it, right? It's like a bomber. You know, they make their bombs out of certain things, and bomb techs will know who made what bomb because they have their own calling card in it. So this particular group that's doing these swattings, apparently their calling card is to start sending pizzas after SWAT leaves. Funny, I had somebody come to my door that was Grubhub, and I'm like, well, this is new. And he was kind of, I was like, I didn't order that. And he was kind of, he didn't know what to think. And I said, what's your name? And he just started looking at me like, what is the deal? And he just kind of left. And come to find out, he had the wrong house, and it just was coincidence, which is very weird. But I was told by my buddy Sean Beardvet Coffee, he told me that he got swatted, and then he started getting the pizzas around 7 o'clock, and then until midnight, Sean Farash and Gunther Engelman, Cat Turd, they started getting pizzas into the late evening, midnight, 11 o'clock. So I'm still in the pizza window, but I also live in a gated community, and I might have a bunch of pizza sitting outside our gate right now. I don't know. I'm not real sure.
Don't eat the pizza unless you know it's a trusted source who is sending you the pizza. Okay, we're running out of time. I just want to ask you one more question. What's next? What's next for social media influencers? We have the right for freedom of speech. A lot of people are going to X. Vocal is Mike Lindell's app. This is where we can go and just say anything we want and not be afraid of being muted. But now we're afraid of being swatted. So does this stop you? Does it make you slow down a little bit, or does it give you the drive to keep going even stronger than before?
Well, they poked a bear, Vanessa, and you know, I've talked about this when I give speeches. You know, I've actually shared the stage with Mike Lindell. I think the world of him. We have to get used to uncomfortable right now. We are in some type of weird war, and we have to be okay with uncomfortable. I don't expect everybody to stand out front like a lot of us that do, to take the bullets and the arrows that come from either trolls or even swatting, for that matter. I'm going to make myself as safe as possible. And I'm going to stay in the forefront. I'm going to continue leading the conservative caucus and the armies we're building in every state to get involved in their civics. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to travel this country and speak to great patriots. And I'm going to use my social media to debate those that are ideologically different than me. And it may be pretty, and it may not be pretty. Either way, I don't really care. But I'm going to be heard, and I'm going to go out there and not be censored like we were for years, and I'm going to keep fighting. I asked my wife that today, and she said, we're not done with this at all. I don't care. They're not going to scare us, and that's when you let terrorism win, and terrorism is not going to win in the Caton household.
Well, I love it. Chad Caton, so good to have you on here. Everyone, if you're watching at home, go give him a follow. So happy and blessed and thankful that you, your wife, and your dog are all okay today.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you very much.
Yes, and we hope to keep following you on your situation, the investigation, and also hope to have you back on here soon. Now to video of mass deportations of gang members being transported out of the country. The president saying these are the monsters sent into our country by crooked Joe Biden and the radical left Democrats. How dare they, he says. This is some very strong video that you are about to see as we get closer to the people who they are deporting. President Trump says, thank you, El Salvador, for your understanding of these horrible situations, which was allowed to happen to the United States because of incompetent Democrat leadership. We will never forget, he says. Speaking on that today, Caroline Leavitt, Tom Homan. But first, we bring in Allison Steinberg, our White House correspondent, to talk about what happened in the press briefing room today. And Allison, I know that the border is pretty much what everyone is so concerned about today. Still, you know, over a month into President Trump's presidency, they're hitting the ground running, deporting these criminal aliens.
They sure are, Vanessa, as they should be, since Trump did campaign on that promise. So it's good to see them actually fulfilling that. What's amazing to me, though, is the establishment media sitting in that briefing room, interrogating Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt about, the intentions of President Trump and why they're doing this. And they just can't seem to wrap their heads around the fact that this absolutely must happen. I mean, America has become a very dangerous and scary place, all because of Joe Biden and the immense damage that he managed to do within a period of 4 years. So there is an incredible amount of work to be undone here, and Trump has really only just begun. It's only been a couple months here in office now, but I think he's done an amazing amount of work for the time being, and I know that he will continue to fulfill those promises with the help of Border Czar Tom Homan and the rest of the ICE agents, Kristi Noem, and those who have been tasked to focus specifically on removing the illegals from our country who make it so unsafe and scary to live here. As we know, many horrible things happen under Joe Biden's rule, so it's good to see something finally being done here.
Absolutely. We do have a response today from Tom Homan, his latest statement regarding the border. Let's take a listen.
And let's remember, many of those on the plane were removed through Title VIII, not through the Alien Enemies Act. So, again, it was the right thing to do. That's what the people of this country mandated President Trump deal with the border crisis, deal with illegal immigration, and deal with illegal alien crime, and that's exactly what we did. We removed terrorists. That should be a celebration. We removed terrorists from this country, and I stand by what the president did. I support 100%.
And then also, Caroline Leavitt, you were there in the press briefing room. She spoke about the border today and the illegal immigrants who they are sending back to their home countries. You know, the White House posted just minutes ago while we were on live, you do not have to go home, but you can't stay here. Here's Caroline Leavitt.
The president is using every lever of his executive authority and his constitutional authority within the bounds of the immigration laws of our country to ensure that our streets are safer for law-abiding American citizens. And this administration is focused on detaining, arresting, and deporting illegal criminal aliens. And as you saw this past weekend, the president used his authority under the Alien Enemies Act to deport foreign terrorists. Tren de Aragua is now a designated foreign terrorist organization. And as I said, there were nearly 200 Tren de Aragua members who were sent to El Salvador this weekend. Countless lives will be saved because of this action. And if you talk to the families, the Angel families, as I mentioned, Blake and Riley and Jocelyn Nungray, they understand the grave cost of life at the hands of these illegal terrorists. And the president is proud to deliver on that promise for them.
I think that's a strong statement, Allison, because we just saw video of these gang members being taken out of the country. And when you talk to these Angel families, they can't be more relieved because they're just here to do harm.
Yeah, that's right, Vanessa, and it's so sad that this was ever even allowed in the first place. And again, it's baffling to me that any of this is even remotely controversial. I mean, these criminals have to leave. I mean, people's lives were lost because they were, for some reason, let into our country, incentivized to be here. So The fact that they're finally getting the boot is, I think, long overdue. I'm grateful because I hope that this results in, a safer country for us all. But yeah, it's amazing to know that the left is somehow in opposition to this, and I think the videos that the White House is putting out, along to the tune of closing time, perfectly fits where we are at this point in time in our country. It's time for these people to leave. They are no longer welcome here.
No, they're not. Allison, so good to see you today. Thanks for that report and all of the work you do in D.C. President Trump ending catch and release. Now his administration is releasing them back to where they came from. We do have new video today, some great news of SpaceX docking at the International Space Station where 2 astronauts have been stranded. They were abandoned there by the Biden administration, but of course they were. But here comes the dynamic duo, President Trump and Elon Musk, making a promise to go get them, and they did just that. Look at the video there. So happy, lots of hugs. NASA astronauts are also helping in on this quest. The crew is expected to undock from the space station Wednesday for a return home. We're excited about it. Our thoughts and prayers are with them all for a safe and successful arrival back home. Also, good news for consumers this afternoon. Gas prices and egg prices are on the decline. Let's start with gas prices. Just in time for spring break travel, the national average for a gallon of regular unleaded right now sits at $3.07 today. That's according to AAA. This time last year, gas prices were $3.46 a gallon nationally. On to eggs, also on the decline. Looking at the latest numbers, a big decline in the last 3 weeks. Look at that. Today, wholesale prices are at $4.15 a dozen. 3 weeks ago, $8.64 a dozen. When it comes to money, we're here to help you save any way possible. After the break, Mike Lindell sits down with Fisher Gold on ways to save for today and also for your future. That's next. We'll be right back.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets.
I'm interrupting this commercial to do something I've never done before. Get 2 MyPillows absolutely free on orders of $100 or more. I can't do this forever, so get on board with this great sale today. Our best-selling 6-piece bath towel sets or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Our famous standard MyPillows only $14.98. Queens $18.98. King size only $1 more. Body pillows $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bed sheet sets. Any size, any color. So go to MyPillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And when you spend $100 or more, get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Are you ready to move easily and independently without pain or stiffness holding you back? That's where Native Path Collagen comes in. Native Path Collagen was designed with the highest quality ingredients that are scientifically backed to ease joint pain, strengthen bones, boost mobility, and so much more. And unlike other collagen products, it's made with the best 2 types of collagen fibers. These 2 specific fibers make up 90% of the collagen in your body. With Native Path Collagen, strengthening your bones, joints, and overall health, it's as easy as 1 scoop a day. And the best part, Native Path offers amazing bundle deals. And with their 365-day money-back guarantee, there's no risk to trying it today. Visit getnativepath.com/Lindell and start your transformation today. Hello, everyone. We're live here at CPAC, and we are with LindellTV.com, and here I have our best, newest, and greatest sponsor, Fisher Liberty Gold, and I'm here with the CEO and founder of that, and that's Alexander Spillane.
Well, I couldn't be more excited to be here with you, Mike. And what an event it is so far.
Yeah.
You did great. I saw you speak this morning. I got to see you front row.
Right.
You know, I've been a fan of yours for a long time, so I'm really excited that I got to come out with you.
Well, thanks, and thanks for being here. And I'm not kidding everybody. You know, in my speech I did today, I talk about us expanding our voice. And this time where MyPillow and myself have been canceled, all the other and podcasters and platforms were canceled, we needed people to stand up as sponsors. All those boxers, everybody out there that went and that were afraid to be sponsors are going, okay, we're afraid of, you know, what they're afraid of, we don't know. You weren't afraid. Fisher Liberty Gold. When I heard about you and I talked to you, I'm going, man, you guys have everything that I look for in a company. We talked about, like my company, you treat every customer like it's your only customer. Yeah. And that meant a lot to me. You guys, I vetted what was it, 4 hours I drilled you?
It took a long time. Yeah, we did.
4 hours I drilled them. I knew I had the best, and I asked all kinds of questions, and there's so much responsibility when people are investing their money. You know, I used to get a lot of gold. I would get it for a rainy day. With me, it rained. I had, you know, I just cash it in. But for people to feel secure, because there's so many different gold companies out there. You know, they expanded so much because of the times we're in. And
that's right.
I know right now. And by the way, everybody, you can check it out at cpacgold.com right now. Go there now. Get a jump on this, and but tell us a little bit about what makes you a better gold guy than other companies. And it's not just gold, everybody. I was asking before we got on the interview. It's everything: platinum, silver, you name it. Right.
Well, you know, it's a great question. Thanks for asking that. I would, to summarize it in a sentence, and I could go on and on, obviously, but I would say we really focus on providing value over the products we sell. And I know you share that same vision with MyPillow and everything that you've done. And what I will say is that you see a lot of commercials on like Fox News, right, where they're just selling coins, and they don't necessarily have the same vision to help a client focus on the short-term and long-term goals, and everyone's different. So, you know, especially when the majority of our clients are doing this within their retirement accounts, because most people don't even know this, but you can roll over a 401k or an IRA tax-free, penalty-free, and usually it's fee-free too. You can roll that over into a gold-backed IRA. And, you know, think of it this way. The same way if you were in the stock market, you wouldn't buy all of just one stock.
Right.
You don't want to go into gold and just buy all just one type of asset. I mean, there's a lot of different products. And different products do different things, you know. There's gold versus silver. There's fractional assets. And then, you know, it's just about having the right balance. And, you know, I would also say that each client has one chief goal in mind, which is they want security. And they need to understand it. So it's new to a lot of people, and I think that what separates us is that our clients are very well educated, and they understand this, and it's not like if a client comes in to us and they say, well, I want to buy a silver American Eagle, I want this many of these. Well, I would prefer my guys take the time to say, well, the customer is going to get what they want to get, but you should show them what other stuff, all the options that are there, you know?
And that's what I meant by, you know, when I was vetting you and your company, you know, I'm putting my credibility on you guys, you know, and I haven't done that. You guys, you know, it's all been about all my products, MyPillow, but, you know, we needed more for our voices to get bigger at Lindell TV and to expand. We needed other people getting behind us, and we need great companies behind us, and that's Fisher Liberty Gold. Now I want to follow the customer. So if I'm watching right now, what do I do right now? And do I go to cpacgold.com and when you know?
cpacgold.com has an exclusive offer for the listeners of Lindell TV, and also for the attendees of CPAC.
Right.
You've got probably the biggest presence here, Mike. I mean, I've seen Grant Cardone come through here, a couple senators, congressmen, and
Eduardo Bolsonaro from Brazil.
I mean, but no one is getting as much attention as you at this booth, You know, and it's actually amazing because, and also, you know what's different about you, and this is another reason I really like you, is you're not you're eager to go meet all these people and say hi to everyone that comes here. And some of the rest of the guys here, they're too important. They've got a wall where you can't even get to the guy, can't shake the person's hand.
Well, I hate to say this, people they're all asking me for pictures, and I say it don't bother me at all because in the old days, the only one that wanted my picture were the cops. True story.
That's funny.
So, but yeah. So if what would I get? What kind of? If I go to cpacgold.com, is there something I'm going to get there? Like, is there? They go there. Is there
absolutely
a packet? Is there something? What are they going to get?
We'll send you out a free guide. Which will detail the process to acquire physical gold and silver, whether it's inside or outside of an IRA. But every single one of those packages that we send out is going to include a free silver coin, and it's also going to have an exclusive offer to qualify for up to $20,000 in bonus silver. But it is on qualifying accounts, so keep that in mind.
Do they have to use a promo code, or we already know that website?
Well, I wish I had a MyPillow promo code. I'd like one of those.
cpacgold.com, but if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the best sponsor. You guys came on. We need you the most to expand our voice here at CPAC too. You know, these events and all the stuff we brought in for Lindell TV. I was just at the White House. By the way, everybody, we have White House correspondents now. We're right inside the Oval Office. Every day at Lindell TV, you're going to hear from the White House. You get the great shows that are here on Lindell TV, and now you couple that with Fisher Liberty Gold. So you guys don't just take it as take it very seriously. People need security. They need security. I know a lot of people. Has it been now? What would you say to people going, well, Donald Trump's back in, the economy's just going to be great? I was when I got my gold back in the day, things were roaring, but it was something that was there when I needed it.
Right.
You know? And
a couple things on that topic. Number one is, I like this saying. They say the best time to plant a tree is yesterday, but the next best time is today. And the fact of the matter is that gold is one of those assets that's never stopped going up, and it's just an important part of your portfolio no matter what. So it's one of those things that's a long-term asset to hold. It's not something that you day trade like the way you would with stocks and that you move in and out of. It's something that's there to create a long-term store of value. But as far as Donald Trump being in office is concerned, the last time he was in office, gold did 50%, and that was combination of a lot of different economic factors, right?
You could not only just buy it for security, but it usually goes up. I mean,
I've got other reasons that my clients buy, and this is important to know, is whether or not Donald Trump has signed executive order to abolish DEI, right? Who were the first companies to roll out the DEI programs? It was all the Wall Street companies. I'm talking about Merrill Lynch, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and they were very proud of it. They put it all over the website, and I don't see that as something that's just going to go away overnight. And you got to understand, these companies have developed a culture, and they're private companies, and public alike, and they can do what they want with those profits. And what these companies do is, look at the 2020 election. They gave $74 million to Joe Biden's campaign. But look at the majority of the money they manage. The majority of the money Wall Street manages are the baby boomers, right? And who do the baby boomers support? You said it, Donald Trump. So their money is actually being weaponized against them. And so one of the most important messages I've been able to share at events like this and all the work we did with Turning Point USA, it's the importance of voting with your wallet. And the only way to do that is put your money where your mouth is. You got to take action. Whether you just realize that your Wall Street account in the stock market is in control of a bunch of leftists who want to.
Or I got this right. Or you can support Fisher Liberty Gold, who supports Lindell TV, who's trying to save the country.
That's
there
absolutely
you go. That's it.
And that's part of why I did this, is because I didn't see any companies giving money to conservative causes. Turning Point USA, you've done a lot of their events. I've actually met you there several times. I've watched all your talks there. And you see they only have a very few amount of sponsors, right? Why is that? Well, it's hard to find that fits into the niche of the conservative movement. And other gold companies,
or they've been afraid.
That's right.
Or they've been afraid up till now. Cowards going, we're just going to sit back and see how it all unfolds.
That's right. And I'll say other gold companies that have been in business much longer than I have. that have even gotten endorsement deals with, other people that I've seen on the same stages.
Right.
They're not here, and the reason why is because they're not really pushing forward to try and help people liberate themselves from the system. And that's really what's important to us, is that, look, I don't trust Wall Street. I don't trust a lot of banks either, and especially after what they did after January 6th, the FBI is just flagging people's transactions if they donated to MAGA, they shop at Dick's Sporting Goods. So
you buy my pillows, trust me. I mean, I've been attacked more than any company in the country. Well, I'll tell you, Alexander, everybody who heard this, is going to be a partner with us for a long time, and we thank you so much for all your support,
and for everything you do
go to cpacgold.com, get your free kit now, and what else they get free?
Oh, free silver coin.
Free silver coin.
Trust
Let's
me,
get it now.
We got
Check
a lot of those back before silver was $32 an ounce.
Right on.
And we're sitting on those, waiting to get them out to you guys.
So help our sponsors, help us, and help you. Thank you, and God bless.
That website is MikeLindellGold.com. Again, it's MikeLindellGold.com. I'm actually on it right now, and you can shield yourself from inflation with your savings, diversify with a time-tested, stable asset, gain financial security in uncertain times. Again, for qualifying orders, you could get a free coin and $20,000 in free silver. A conservative company with our conservative values. Let them know Mike Lindell sent you. Again, that is MikeLindellGold.com. Give them a shout today. It's really easy to set up, and these are the experts. They want to help you. Again, they're conservative. They understand how inflation over the last 4 years has affected the American people, and that's why they are here, is to help us get on the right track to financial freedom. All right, President Trump working and also enjoying some golf in the little spare time that he has. This weekend, he participated in a golf tournament and he won. Of course he did. He's always winning. The tournament was held at his golf course in Palm Beach, Florida. There he is there. He said this may be his last tournament, though. The president right there waving to fans after his big win. We'll be right back here on the Mike Lindell Show, but first, here's a look at 9-year-old Vivian, who is fighting brain cancer. She got her wish of being press secretary. Take a look, and we'll be right back.
What is your favorite color?
Ooh.
Blue.
Ooh.
Mine too.
Do you have any pets or siblings?
I have a doggy and an annoying brother.
I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bed sheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
As we close out the show today, I want to remind you that Lindell TV is now on YouTube. As of last week, you can now follow us there. Just simply subscribe to our channel. That's Lindell TV News. It's another source where you can get all the news right on your phone or your computer. There's the site right there, Lindell TV News. Go subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, share the news. We're now on YouTube. You can subscribe right now. Also, our website is updating as we continue to grow. Get the latest news and headlines daily at lindelltv.com. I want you to take a look. If we can scroll back up to the very top of the page, we have a Doge tracker. I love it. There you can see up to the minute savings by Elon and the Doge team and how much it's saving you as a taxpayer. That's on lindelltv.com. That'll do it for us today. Thanks so much for watching the Mike Lindell Show. I'm Vanessa Broussard. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.
You ever see this guy with the pillows on Fox? My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell. He is the greatest. The My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell. And he's been with us right from the beginning.